Hey, welcome to the Cardone Zone. Grant Cardone here. Every Monday I come to you to talk about real estate, how to find it, buy it, invest in it, manage it, what to do with it. And now that we have the coronavirus, what is it, COVID-19, 17?
COVID-19.
2020? Since the COVID hit the commercial real estate scene, today I want to talk to you about, is this boom or bust post-crisis? What do you do? I'll look at every sector, office, retail, apartments. You know how much I love apartments. I'll look at residential. I'll take your calls, 305-865-8668, 305-865-8668. I was on a call Friday with 1, 2, 3, 4. It was about 10 of us, maybe 11 of us on a phone call. Thank you. And no. This is a resume. I don't want the resume. I want the notes. This isn't for me. And I got what I need, actually. Yeah. And these gentlemen that I was on the call with own 36,000 units, 60,000 units. Another guy owns 180,000 apartments. And we just had a little bit of a dialogue. What are you seeing? What's happening? What's going on? So rather than you guys just looking at the top, the header of Google News or USA Today or CNBC or whatever, I can just tell you what these guys that are working deals, owning deals, buying deals out in the market, what they're looking at, what they're saying, okay? And then you can decide. What I'm going to discuss here and just share with you is what I think happens during this cycle and after this cycle. I know some of you out there might be wishing for bad news. You're like, oh, I hope it gets terrible and the real estate prices are going to go down. I'll tell you exactly what to do in upcoming weeks on what to do with that, how to start negotiating, be on a list of maybe deals that become issues, how to get connected with banks and lenders that might be able to assist you in inventory or projects that are coming up. I am 100% positive pro post apartments after this COVID thing ends. And I'll explain to you why today. But I'll also tell you, because of my experience talking to these other people, I have access to a gentleman with 36,000 units. His Class A, it's all Class A properties. He's got, his average rent's over $2,200 a month, and they were 94% collected as of April. Whether those numbers maintain in May or not, I don't know, but I know that at 94%, that's well above what the national report is and well above what people predicted. Another friend of mine owns 10 projects. He was 91% collected. He would expect to be, before this is over in April, to be 96% collected. Collected means what? I had an agreement with you to pay you, and I did pay you. This is despite, by the way, news saying that apartment owners can't evict their tenants. Another friend of mine who owns 160 projects. I own 26 or 27, maybe 28 projects, counting everything. He owns 160 projects, 60,000 units, mostly B stuff, okay? And it was interesting because he says, look, it took, the period of time that it took 2008 to get to the numbers that we're at, we've already gotten to in 3 weeks. Which he liked that idea. That was my big takeaway. That was maybe some water. That was my big takeaway, is that it happened so fast that he's gotten to numbers that he can start dealing with now. He does not know whether it gets better or worse. Lastly, a gentleman with 180,000 units, 92% collected. A's, B's, he's got it across the board. He talked about his worst performing market, what was doing well. New York City's getting crushed. Blah, blah, blah. All these guys are apartment owners, okay? So look, this is what I think happens, okay? You got a number of things to look at right now. If you're thinking about buying real estate right now, you got to be thinking about, okay, where do I go next time? You got a house, single family home. It's called single family residence. This is post. This is my analysis post going forward. You got apartments like I buy. You got flipping is an activity. You got office buildings. The question will be, will people return to office the way they were? There's a big conversation about whether this happens or not. There's retail, which is what? It could be like where the Macy's store is in your town, or it could be where the barbershop, the strip center, it's called a strip center. We have industrial, and I have a whole opinion on industrial, why it could be good and why it could be at risk. I'm sure there's a number of other things. We got storage. Oh yeah, storage. If you're in the storage business right now, RVs is another one, right? RV parks. So I can start breaking this down in a number of different ways. It's basically residential income, office income, and industrial income is the breakdown. I might be leaving something out there, but let me just tell you what I think happens here. First of all, the world will not come to an end, folks. If it does come to an end, you want to be in real assets. You want to be in cash. You want to be in Bitcoin. You want to be in gold. You want to be in shit. You want to be, it don't matter what you're in. If the world comes to an end, let's face it, it don't matter, okay? So some of you are speculating, I need gold. If the world comes to an end, gold will not help you. It's going to be a zombie apocalypse. Johnny's in the house with me, okay? So it's going to be the apocalypse. So look, if the world is going to come to a crucial end, the investment type that you make will not matter, okay? Now, let's assume now that we're not going to come to an end. There'll be some 7 billion people left on this planet. What do they got to do every day? Just start doing the math here. Boom or bust post-crisis when it's over. Okay, I'm going to leave this one for last, the apartments, because I think y'all know where I stand on that. Let's just take, first of all, housing. Okay, your friends over at Chase have already tightened up the house today. In 3 weeks, you now need to put 20% down on a house, and you need a 700 beacon score. This will crush homes. If I don't live in a house, what do I do? Don't answer the question, just think about it. Call me 305-865-8668, okay? Office buildings. We are at 16 million people unemployed, and another, 100 million working from home. Do you think people are going to just rush back into office buildings? 305-865-8668. Call me. Let me know. Okay, what do you think is going to happen there? RVs, RV parks, remote rentals. What are they called? RV parks.
Mobile homes.
Mobile homes. Yeah. I couldn't even say it. Mobile, man. I told my daughters today, I said, we ought to get a big like $1 million bus, $2 or $3 million bus, rent it and just travel from Miami all the way to Wyoming and Montana and just, can we even do that? Or is the virus, I wear my mask everywhere I go. I'm gonna wear my mask. I'm gonna put my mask on, get in my big ass RV and then pull into my camper place, okay?
Dude, I want one of those.
I got it in white too. All right, let's see what else I have. I have office. I have, what am I missing? Oh, flips. That's over. Done. Tell you guys, just go back and watch the other videos I've done on Mondays. Stay away from flipping. If you have a single family home, you got any equity in it, sell it right now. Okay, don't buy a house. Do not buy a house. I told you over and over and over again. If you do buy a house, get out of the deal right now, sell it. Break even, lose a little bit of money if you have to. Like flipping, stay away from it. Duplexes, fourplexes. The gentleman on these calls, the A properties right now, under $2,200 a month, $1,500 to $2,200, are doing better than every other asset class in America today. Of every asset class in the real estate space, you're watching this show because you're interested in real estate. Should you be invested in it? Yes, you should. Because when this crisis is over, folks, imagine this person right here. This is Dave, okay? And let's say Dave just lost his job, okay? Or Dave got cut. Or Dave watched a bunch of other people. There's only A, B, and C that happened to Dave because of the crisis. A, Dave lost his job. Worst case scenario, he lost his job. Okay. B, he got cut, meaning his pay got cut, or they kept him. He's left untouched. That's the only three things that can happen to you in this virus. You're unemployed. You're unemployed. Let me just This is really important for you guys to know when you're making your investment. I was telling these guys this on the phone the other day. They said, how are you making who are you talking to? I said, who am I talking to? I'm talking to Dave. How do you make your investments, Grant? Dave, man, I figure out what can Dave do. A, Dave got unemployed, okay? Unemployed. B, what could Dave got cut. He went from 90 grand a year or 70 grand a year down to 50 grand a year. He took a little haircut, okay? C, he got spared. But nobody got spared in this deal. Because even Dave down here at C, Dave's like, oh shit, I'm still at risk, right?
Oh, yeah.
Everybody's at risk right now, right? And it's not this. This is not the only risk. You can put that on. You can put that on, but you still got this other thing going on. And if you're trying to invest in real estate, then you got to be thinking, because Dave's not going to buy anything right now. Dave can't buy, right? Is Dave going to go buy a house right now? His beacon score is going to go down, not up. His down payment's going to go down, not up. Okay, Dave's not going to go buy. Okay, and Dave doesn't have an office building to go to, so that route's cut off. Okay, he's not going there. He's not going there. He's not going to go to an RV. This guy needs to find a job right now. He's probably going to hold on to his car to go select a job. Let's say he lives in Miami and he got let go. Let's say he got let go from my company. I let him go. What did he do? He went back to his apartment where he was renting, or his house where he was renting, and he's trying to figure out where to go next. 30 days from now, I'm going to call him up. Dave, come on back to work, bro. Let's roll. What's he going to do? He probably stayed in his apartment the entire time and figured out where he was going to go. In the meantime, he was possibly filing for unemployment. That's possibly what he did right here. He went and filed. Okay. He's getting his first check in May. That's good. The timing's excellent on that. We already got our April collections. May, everybody gets their first check. And then boom, I give him a phone call mid-May. Come back to work, bro. Let's roll. Okay, now he could have traveled back to mama's house. That's possible. He could have. But the problem with him traveling back to mama's house is there's a fucking quarantine on America. Beep, 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 beep. There's a quarantine. So he actually wasn't able to leave Miami and go back to low life Texas, where he came from, whatever. Amarillo is what I wanted to say. But you know, I love the people in Amarillo. There's no low lives there, okay? We got callers, but don't be a staller, folks. Look, I know next week I'm going to do a show on how to buy real estate at bargain basement prices, okay? You got to subscribe to the channel. Hit the subscribe button, man. Let me get some subscribes going on. You guys are spending too much time watching Tiger King. Y'all need to watch Grant Cardone. I'll show you how to be the king of your own life without killing some animals, okay? So watch. This guy cut. He got cut. He was in a $1,600 a month apartment. He got cut. He went from 90 grand a year to 60 grand a year. What's he going to do right now? He's not going to buy a house.
He's going to make some cuts.
He's going to make cuts. Now, he could move down, okay? Like, I have a person working for me right now. She's like, hey, Grant, should I move? I don't know. Check it out. She's like, I'm paying $1,800 a month right here. I said, okay, well, where are you going to go to? You're going to say 300 by moving across town? No, that's just ridiculous. 300 is not a problem. You get it? So post, when all this is over, folks, I bought an apartment building in 2020 in January. I'm not selling this thing till 2030. Just so you guys know, the real players, they were asking on this call, they said, hey, what do you think the value implication of the real estate is? I have $1.7 billion worth of real estate, okay? Somewhere, I don't know, 1.7, 1.8, 1.6, 1.5, 2 billion, who knows what it's worth, right? In 2030 is all I'm thinking about. They said, what do you think happened to the value of your real estate? I said, nothing happened to it. And they're like, how can nothing happen to it, Grant? We're going to have vacancies. It's going to negatively impact the NOI. We have an economy in turmoil. We have 16 million people laid off. How could the value of your property go down or not go down? I said, because it's not for sale. Not for sale. Hey, you guys, now, if you guys have something for sale, how about we talking about 4 months if you have something for sale? And they're like, why talk 4 months from now? Because you're not going to be ready to sell for 4 to 6 months. You got, look, to make a deal, you got to have a buyer and a seller. You got it? And the buyers are ready. The buyers are like, let's go, let's go, let's go. People would love to buy stuff right now, but you don't have a seller yet because the sellers are scared to say, hey, I got something I'd like to sell. Because they know right now the timing would be awful to say, hey, I got something I'd like to sell. Because a bunch of amateurs, many of you that are watching the show right now, you're like, oh, there's blood in the water. I'm going. No, dude, you way early, man. You way early. You need 6 months, 9 months to find the people that are like, tap me out, done. You got to wait till there's a tap out, till there's capitulation in the marketplace. Guys that own the kind of real estate I own, we ain't selling it, man. I ain't never selling it. I didn't over debt it. I didn't over leverage the property. Okay, we put 30 and 40 and 50% down on some of our deals. I have unbelievable debt, like low, 3.15 on my last deal. I could not get that debt today. It would cost me an extra point in interest. So, going forward in the future, who's the winner in this deal? It will not be office. It will definitely not be homes. We're going to see the lowest home ownership in the history of the United States, at least since 1940. That wouldn't be the history of the United States, but since the Industrial Revolution, we will see the lowest home ownership we've ever seen in this country. Mark my words. I told you we would see the highest unemployment in your lifetime, and I told you that a year ago, okay, without any kind of idea that we'd be wearing masks. Let's talk to our callers, Johnny. Hope this show helps. Hope it helps. Love to see your comments below. Love me, hate me. Hey, at least you got a comment with me.
You got John in New York.
John, what's going on in New York? John, New York's getting like decimated. Would you agree with that?
Hey, Grant, thanks for taking the call. I just wanted to come on and thank you. I got
Keep it up,
about
John.
50% of my net worth in Cardone Capital right now. And I came to the GrowthCon, and, thank you for that. That was an amazing experience.
Yeah, say that again. What percentage of your net worth with Cardone Capital?
50%.
Kick it up, Johnny. I can't hear him.
50%, a whopping,
50%
it's over
of his net worth. That's
160,000,
awesome, man.
50%
Look,
of my net worth.
Are you going to be on the call tonight? I invited you to be on a call tonight, a private call just for the investors.
Yeah. I was on a call you did, I think, Friday or 2 Fridays ago. That was great. My one question for you is, I know you are postponing some distributions right now. When is that going to come back into swing? I am an accredited investor.
Yeah. So what I did was our collections for April were almost 94%. Okay, that was April. And so what I want to do, he's asking about my distributions. I basically said April, May, and June. I am going to set aside our distributions to make sure that we get on the other side of this being prudent. So I took a very conservative action and said April, May, June. I mean, I have the right to change my mind. I could say, hey, we're good in June and release. That money is being set aside, just so you know. It's not like it didn't happen. The money's being set aside just in case this thing were to turn on. The virus comes back. We get shut down from mid-April till July. Like I had a guy tell me today, we're not going to open back up until May 25th. So if that happened, then I start worrying about, okay, I want to be able to continue to manage my property. I have to take care of the asset itself. I got to take care of the debt. Much of what you're reading today in the newspaper about, the renter doesn't have to pay and the landlord, the owner doesn't have to pay their mortgage. None of that is true, folks. Everybody's got to keep paying. You can't just not pay. Sooner or later, somebody's got to pay the piper. So that's all I'm doing. I'm just going to hold off for like 90 days. If I can get back to full distributions before that, I will. Remember, I like distributions more than anyone because I get the biggest distribution just because I'm the biggest owner in the properties. Hope that helps. And I'll see you tonight. I'll send you that link. Make sure he gets a link tonight because I'm going to go into more detail on this tonight. Okay, next caller.
All right, you got Raul in Boston.
So remember, folks, okay, the rent, you collect your rent collected. You got expenses, okay? You have what's called NOI. NOI will take a drop right now because rent collected is going to go down. The expenses are not going to change a lot. In fact, the expenses on some of these properties could go up. could go up a tad just because we're having to manage people a little better, okay? So if the rent goes down, the NOI is going to go down. When the NOI goes down, guess what? Value goes down. Today's value, if you're selling. I'm not a seller. We have 10-year deals. We buy a deal today. We expect to sell it in 2029. So my NOI goes down. Underneath the NOI is the debt. And this is the point I want to make. The debt, I have debt on the deals. I want to pay my lenders. Now I have lenders that I'm like, Grant, we have a forbearance so you can delay payments for 3 months with Fannie and Freddie. Good, okay. I don't want to do that right now. I want to make my payments and I want to distribute cash when I can. So this leaves our cash, free cash right here. And the gentleman that called a second ago would say, hey, I know you're going to freeze distributions for a couple of months. That's right. I'm going to do that so I can continue to fund my properties and take care of them. Next caller, Johnny.
All right, you got Raul in Boston.
Raul, how you doing up there in Boston, buddy?
He's on.
Raul, how you doing?
All right, we're going to go to Andre in ATL.
Andre, and Johnny's doing a great job. He's doing it all. He's doing the video. He's doing the cutting. He's doing the prep. He's doing the calls.
All right, Andre in ATL.
What's up, buddy? Uh-oh, lost Andre too. Give me somebody, Johnny. Andre?
We got Aaron in Canada.
Aaron, let's go Canadian. Okay, we're having some kind of difficulty with it.
He's on.
Aaron, what's up?
Go Canadian. Uncle G, talk to me. What's up?
Yo, what's up with you, man? Talk to me.
Not much. So, here's the deal. I work for a Canadian REIT. My REIT had an accepted offer. So 27,000 units, 4.8 billion sales price. I want to know, the due diligence is ongoing. Will that deal go through? Will I keep my job?
No, that deal will not go through right now. Well, let me see. I mean, it could go through, but 27,000 units?
Across Canada, correct. 27,000 units.
No, I don't believe that deal goes through right now. And the reason I don't believe it goes through is, I mean, it could, but I'd give it a 90-10. 90% it doesn't go through.
The stock was started at 37.
I was on the phone with guys today that own 36,000 units, 60,000 units, and 180,000 units. They're like, all their deal activity is stopped. They're like, hey, time out. Just time out. Why? Because they're trying to figure out what happens in May, what happens in June, what happens in July. Because if the rent collected continues to go down, the value goes down. Okay? Not between me and you. Let's say you're the buyer and I'm the seller. Me and you are good. We're like, no, they're still worth it. But I got a lender. I got debt. How many units did you say they're going to be buying?
27,000.
27,000. Even a guy that's got enough money to buy 27,000 units has a board. He has investors. He's got at least shareholders and a board, a vice president, people he has to explain what he's doing. And they're like, what are you doing buying 27,000 units in the worst economic crisis in the history of mankind since zombies? This was probably created by zombies, by the way. I know Area 54 got something to do with this. Okay, so I don't think that deal goes through. Why? Because the value in the marketplace today goes down doesn't mean the value long term goes down. And also, to answer your question, it doesn't mean that they should kill the deal. It just means if they're getting debt on a deal, the debt market is not going to facilitate this activity. Okay, so treasuries are 0.75 right now. 3 weeks ago in one day, I could have got that money for 2 points over. Okay, that means that money would have cost me $275, cheapest money I've ever borrowed in my entire life. If I was going to try to borrow that money today, 22 days later, that money wouldn't cost me 4 points right here. It would cost me like 4 points, at least 4 points. And so the money would be 4.75, 4 3/4, almost 5%, which by itself would change the value of that transaction by hundreds of millions of dollars, I think. Okay, next caller. Okay, Grant Cardone here. This is Cardone Zone. Every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, I come to you to talk about your business, your career, your finance. Monday's all about real estate. I'm going to escapulate. That's not even a word. I'm going to escapulate, which means I'm going to summarize. and bring back the totality of what I just shared with you, which is, I'll promise you, a year from now, what's the date today, Johnny? April something.
April 13th.
April 13th. April 13th, pull this one out of the file, Johnny. 2021, apartments will be more desirable to own, particularly the A, B plus, A minus, A plus, $1,200 to $1,800 a month rents will be the most desirable investment class of all real estate, including office, industrial, storage, single family. Single family would be destroyed, okay? I think it's 62%. I'll have it down to like 58, 57% a year from now, ownership in a country. And they're not even counting, the numbers that we get today don't count 60, I think it's 63% home ownership around the country. There's probably, I don't know, millions of homes, 3 or 4 million homes in America that are already in foreclosure. They were in foreclosure before the COVID-19 2020.
2,300 people watching live.
I'm telling you guys aren't getting the facts, man. 16 million people lost their jobs. Okay, they left office buildings. So I got 25,000 square feet of office here. It's empty. I'm sitting here thinking I'm an idiot, freaking ignoramus for owning this piece of property. It's empty. I got nobody here. It's me and Johnny, 2 people squirting off on each other, 25,000 square feet, looking at each other. You looking at me? Stay away from me, okay? Okay? I'm worried about him squirting off, spraying on me. I'm like, hey, don't you be spraying on me, dog. Keep that virus off of me. So in real estate, you guys are you're getting sprayed on right now with a bunch of negative information. There's negative information everywhere. Coronavirus is going to end the world. Okay, well, if it ends the world, I'll guarantee you a bunch of people are going to die in their apartment. And most of them are going to die paid up. 94% collections in April. 94% collected in April. Guess what my collections were last April? 93%. My collections went up. They didn't go down. Okay, so you guys are collecting bad news everywhere. You're just reading headliners. Oh my God, apartments are going to go back. Yeah, they are. Okay, if you own 2 units, you're probably going to lose them. Why? Not enough income. If you own 4 units, 4 times 800 is what? $3,200. Okay, your payment's $2,000. 2 people moved out. You lost the most important leverage you have in real estate. The most important leverage is not the debt. The most important leverage is the number of units. I own 8,000 units. 10% of them move out. I lose 800 units. And I lose 800. I still have 7,200 people renting from me. I can probably still pay my expenses and still pay my debt. If I couldn't do that, the lender would have never given me a loan for the 65% loan to value because they use a calculator of 1.25 called a debt coverage ratio. Look, if you want to learn about real estate, I mean really, really learn about real estate, not the easy stuff. How many times have I said, if it's easy to buy, it'll be hard to sell. Okay, the 5% down, game's over. If you've been flipping, you're done. I've been warning you too. I've been like, dude, if when the market turns and you're flipping and you got 3 homes left, sell them the same day. Make them go away no matter what. You got to pay somebody to take them, take them. Okay, you've been 3 weeks into this event. If you're sitting on a flip, get rid of it now. This will get worse for you, not better. The flipping's over. Single family homes. If you own one, you're not selling it now. Okay, that's over. Just take it off the table. Get the best debt you can on it. You probably need to wait 3 or 4 months to refinance that property to get real decent till the lending market stabilizes. You need 3 or 4 months. Don't go jump into a refi right now. Anybody telling you to refi your house right now is a complete freaking scam. Okay, there's no way you could refi anything right now at this present point. If you're in a refi right now and about to close, say time out and beg for Corona, COVID-19. Say, dude, I'm not doing anything in this environment. Everything's off the table, okay? They're going to threaten to keep your deposit or whatever. Say, whatever, okay? Whatever you renegotiate, I promise you will be better for you than signing up on that paperwork right now. So if you like this kind of information, please comment. If you want to be part of this every Monday, I drop a show every Monday. Cardone Capital, some people are asking in comments, what's the Cardone Capital thing? I own a company that owns 8,000 apartments. I've been buying apartments for 35 years. Investors invest with us. We buy like unbelievable quality product, okay? Like this product behind me, I think it's at 88% this month. That's at 88%. It's up in Virginia. No, it's not Virginia. It's Maryland, right next to Virginia. It's beautiful, absolutely gorgeous property. I think we paid 100 and lost it. 126, maybe 126, 130, 130 million for the property. Irreplaceable. Couldn't buy it again. Couldn't get the debt that I have on it. We own this. We're going to own this for 10 years. I've had it for, 6 months, 5 or 6 months. And these are the kind of things that we invest in for our, we look around the United States for our investors, for myself, my family, so that we can look for long-term growth, protect our capital. Okay, I'm not selling this. If I'm not selling it, I can't lose any money. People are like, Rick, I'm going to lose a shirt. Okay, all right, but I'm not going to lose my real estate. I'll lose my shirt before I lose my real estate. Why? Because great assets, people have to live someplace. This coronavirus will end. When it does end, people will still live in that property right there. It's harder to buy a house today and going forward than it was 3 months ago. You're going to have to put 20% down to buy a house. In Maryland, to buy a house with 20% down costs you $80,000 down payment, 80 grand. Guess what it costs to move into that property? 800. Times of uncertainty, 800 down or 80,000. Let's think about this. Honey, what do you want to do? We just moved to Maryland. Okay, we're moving to DC for a new job with the new administration. There's a new administration. It's going to be Cuomo and Biden. They move in. This guy gets a new job. He can't afford DC, so he drives 45 minutes and he lives in my property. He looks at buying a house, but it's a new job. Folks, when you get a new job, what are you going to do? You going to rent or you going to buy? You're going to rent. We're going through a new job market right now. People don't have an old job. 16 million people just lost a damn job. When you lose a job, how do you buy a house? like, come on, man. You guys just do the math. Do the Dave math, okay? You understand what the Dave math is? Or do the Denise math, okay? Denise just moved to Clearwater. She's excited. She moved to Tampa. She moved to St. Petersburg. She moved to Austin. Denise moved. Do you think she's going to go out and buy a house today? It might have happened 4 months ago. She was shopping for a house. She moved to Austin, Texas. We're going to buy a house. We're going to live in Austin the rest of our life. She ain't buying a house now. She's going to rent an apartment. She's not going to go buy an office building. She's going to rent a house. She's thinking about whether to take her money, her stuff out of storage and just sell it right now to raise money. She needs a safe place for her husband, her kids, and her little rough to live. 10-month lease, $1,700 a month, safe, swimming pool, protected, it's gated, we pull in, we got 1,000, 1,100 square feet. I don't clean up anything, I don't do anything. I'm telling you, apartments. Denise is gonna guarantee, Denise right here, thank you Denise, will make apartments, the right kind of apartments in the right locations, not all apartments, will make the right apartment, priced fairly, where the management takes care of Denise and her family. If you're going to own apartments and not take care of the tenant, you're not going to win this game. You have to take care of the tenant. It is still a customer service issue. Great property, got to be in a good location. If it's not in a good location, nobody's going to come to you, particularly now. 3, it's got to be reasonably priced. If you're going to be at $3,700 a month in Austin or Miami, it's probably going to be a problem. Thank you guys for watching. Grant Cardone, Cardone Capital, CEO, 8,000 units. Got a little experience doing this game. There's nobody better at buying apartments than I am. Nobody in the world, okay? Listen to me. Throw it down in comments. I just said he's the best in the world. I said I'm the best in the world, okay? Because I got common sense. Common sense. Use your common sense. What's Denise going to do? What's Dave going to do? Come on. The world ain't coming to an end, folks. And if it does, it don't matter where your money is. Till then, invest in apartments.